Hello. Let's see if I can get this right. I just made two videos. I messed them both up. I was so excited that uh, I just I was responding to David Atkinson video about a singles collection of his sister or sister-in-law, and there are a lot of Gary Glitter records in there. And I instantly thought of my copy of Security by Thane Russell and Three, which was a hit in Australia, and I think only in Australia. I still have my original copy I bought in '66. It's immaculate condition, as all my records are that I've bought myself. And because Gary Glitter produced that single, Security by Thane Russell and Three, and under the name of Paul Raven. Um, so anyway, as I picked it up, this was behind it. Now this is a Decca 45, Australian Decca 45 in his Master's Voice bag from the UK. Now, I've never paid much attention to this. I've always seen the wrong cover with the Decca, and I just thought, oh, it must be a shit single that I just shoved in there. And somehow, okay, to cut the long story short, I bought the first and second Stones albums, of course, at the time. And the second one in Australia was 12 by 5, which is the same track listing as the US 12 by 5. Otherwise, the Australian albums were all the same as the UK versions for some reason, and I'm glad because I believe that they got it right. The second album, 12 by 5, is definitely better than whatever they put out in the UK, which I have here somewhere. It just sounds wrong to me because that album, 12 by 5, was about the third album I ever bought, and it's just, I played it to death, and it's just burnt in my memory, And there's one thing about it, when I bought it, now also, I have just about all the Australian Decca 45s of the Stones, and that's basically all their 60 stuff. So I'm only missing one or two, and this thing I'm about to show was missing, and I never really thought about it. I just didn't think about it because the 12 by 5 album has the track Time Is On My Side on it, and the old Irma Thomas track that they covered. And when I first played it, it started out, and I thought, this sounds different to what I was hearing on the radio. On the radio, there's this real moody sort of little organ intro, and when I bought the album, it starts with a sort of a ding, 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 ding. Keith Richards sort of doing a bit of a twangy guitar thing, and there's a bit of organ sort of sifting in there. And at the time, I thought, gee, that's not what I'm hearing on the radio. And I didn't like it, to be honest. I preferred the radio mix. But over time, I got so used to hearing that I just sort of, every time I'd hear it, I go, oh, I wish I had the organ mix. Well, guess what? I've had this single, I bought it so long ago, I have zero memory of this. This probably, I would have picked this up, I would guess, in the 70s or the 80s. That's most likely. Because you just don't see Stones 45s or any pop music from that era. You just don't find them. They disappeared in the 80s. Old guys like me snapped them up, and I wasn't old at the time. But the thing is, we snapped up the good ones, and you just don't see them. I haven't seen them for decades, and I've always, every time I play that album, I go, oh, gee, I wish that was the mix, the radio mix. And it's a different recording completely. I mean, it's a sort of a forerunner. The one on the album with the guitar intro is a bit more polished. The single, the vocals are a little bit rough here and there, but it makes it better. And by God, before I say anything else, I thought I've got to put this on. This is the time. Time is on my side. I think it's the fourth, or third or fourth, um, probably the fourth uh, Stones release in Australia. And see, congratulations, the B side here. Well, on my Australian copy of 12 by 5, it's spelt congratulations instead of congratulations. Um, and I probably bought this for 5 cents 3 decades ago or more and just shoved it in that bag. And I probably didn't care because I just saw, would have picked it up and saw congratulations. So what? I've got it on an album and it's not a particularly good track anyway. It's an early Jagger Richards. It's not a very good one. And so I've just had it there for decades without even knowing it was there. And the only reason I picked it up is because it was behind Thane Russell and the Three security single. So if David Atkinson, God bless you, sir, if you ever see this, if David Atkinson hadn't shown his sister or sister-in-law's second bunch of 45s that he received, and he mentioned the Gary Glitter thing, I would not have gone and searched out my Thane Russell and Three, and I would not have even found this. It's a miracle. It's a Christmas miracle, you know? I actually believe in bloody Satan's Claus. I mean Santa Claus now. So this, you should hear it. Oh, I just put it on. I had to know. I just whacked it on the turntable. No spindle marks. Someone's put their fingerprints on it, but they're very mild. No scratches, no spindle marks. I put it on and holy crap. I had the volume cut way low because I just wanted to hear the intro. And the volume on this thing, I just went, holy shit. I wish to God everyone out there that loves the old Stones, and I'm talking before, 1973, I wish you guys could hear these singles. They just sound absolutely extraordinary. The volume, they just punch you in the head, in the stomach. I couldn't believe how good this sounded. I was going, what the? It sounds better than any damn CD or remastered Robert Ludwig, whatever. This thing kicks butt, sound-wise. I had it the whole time. All those years, I'd go, oh, God, I wish I could find that single somewhere. And I had it the whole time. Thank you, David Atkinson. Thank your sister-in-law for me for having a bag full of Gary Glitter records, because I would never have even guessed that the one single out of the two that I didn't buy in the 60s by the Stones was this, because in those days, once the single was released, it was deleted after 6 months or even earlier. And so I missed the opportunity to buy the 45 because I had the album with the same track, but it's a different recording. Woo! Merry Christmas, everybody.